Ronnie Lott built his legacy on turning pain into power. He once amputated his own finger just to stay in the game. But the incredible career of Ronnie Lott started decades earlier, where discipline at home and merciless drive on the field launched a high school star to NFL history in record time. How does a young man from Rialto become the most feared defender of his era? The answer begins long before the bone-crushing tackles and championships. Ronald Mandel Lott entered the world on May 8, 1959 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the first son of Roy and Mary Lott. His father's work in law enforcement and his mother's insistence on discipline shaped the rhythm of daily life. When the family moved west to Rialto, California, Lott found himself in a city where opportunity and challenge lived side by side. The Lott's modest home became a classroom for values, family values. At Eisenhower High School, those lessons met their test. Under Coach Tom Hoke, Lott's football education took on new urgency. Hoke demanded toughness and focus, pushing his players through long practices and even longer film sessions. Lott thrived in this environment not just as a gifted athlete, but as a leader. He earned All-America honors as a senior, excelling on both sides of the ball, shutting down receivers as a cornerback, and making big plays as a wideout. Teammates recall his voice carrying across the locker room and his presence setting the standard at every practice. The Eisenhower Eagles were more than a football team. They were a family, and Lott was the heartbeat, calling out assignments, urging others to outwork their rivals, and refusing to accept anything less than full commitment. Toughness. Recruiters from across the country came calling, but Lott chose the University of Southern California. The draw was not just the winning tradition, it was the promise of growth under Coach John Robinson. At the University of Southern California, Lott joined a roster stacked with future NFL stars. As a sophomore in 1978, he became a starter in a defensive backfield that helped the Trojans capture the national championship. Practices at the university were battles, sharpening Lott's technique and football intelligence. He learned to study opponents, anticipate plays, and lead by example. The culture demanded excellence, and Lott responded by raising his game, earning a reputation for both his physical play and his relentless preparation, championship experience. By the time he left the University of Southern California, Lott had become more than a standout athlete. He was recognized as one of the nation's top defensive backs, known for his instinct, toughness, and leadership. The foundation was set, a blend of family values, small-town grit, and championship experience that would soon carry him to the next level, the foundation.
The 1981 NFL Draft buzzed with anticipation as the San Francisco 49ers weighed their options. With the 8th overall pick, Bill Walsh made a move that would reshape the franchise. He called Ronnie Lott's name and handed him the keys to a defense in need of an identity. Training camp at Sierra College in Rockland was the proving ground. The air was thick with California heat and competition. Lott arrived with a reputation for toughness, but the challenge was immediate. Learn a new system, earn the trust of veterans, and adapt to the demands of professional football. Walsh's vision for the team demanded discipline, intelligence, and a willingness to reinvent. Lott found a kindred spirit in rookie cornerback Eric Wright. Together, they became the backbone of a secondary built on communication and aggression. From the first snap of his rookie season, Lott's impact was unmistakable. He started all 16 games, patrolling the left cornerback spot with a blend of speed and ferocity rarely seen from a first-year player. 7 interceptions, 3 returned for touchdowns, set a new standard for NFL rookies. Opposing quarterbacks quickly learned to account for number 42, but few could avoid his range or his appetite for contact. The recognition came swiftly. Pro Bowl, All-Pro, and a reputation as one of the league's most dangerous defenders. The postseason brought higher stakes and brighter lights. In January 1982, the 49ers faced the Cincinnati Bengals. in Super Bowl XVI at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. Lott delivered on the game's biggest stage, intercepting Ken Anderson and helping San Francisco secure its first championship, 26-21. The rookie's poise under pressure became a rallying point for a team on the rise. Over the next 3 seasons, Lott's influence only grew. The 49ers defense, anchored by Lott and Wright, climbed into the NFL's elite. Bill Walsh's philosophy, precision, preparation, and adaptability, was mirrored in Lott's approach to every snap. By January 20th, 1985, the 49ers returned to the Super Bowl, this time dismantling the Miami Dolphins 38-16 in Super Bowl XIX. Lott had become more than a cornerstone. He was the emotional engine of a team that now expected to win. 2 championships in 4 years, a new standard for defensive play, and a partnership with Eric Wright that would enter league lore. The leap from college star to NFL champion had been immediate and complete. December 22nd, 1985 brought a collision that would test Ronnie Lott's resolve. Midway through a brutal game against the Dallas Cowboys, Lott's left pinky finger was crushed between 2 helmets. The bone splintered, skin split, and blood soaked his glove. He finished the game, barely registering the pain and the rush of adrenaline and responsibility. When the swelling refused to subside, team doctors spelled out the options. Reconstructive surgery with pins and bone grafts, but 8 weeks in a cast and a summer lost to rehab, or amputation at the first joint, a faster path back to the field. For Lott, the choice was clear, if not easy. I looked at it as just another injury I had to deal with to keep playing, he later said. The operation was quick, the aftermath less so. He wore a special pad over the shortened finger, a constant reminder of what he had given up for the game and his teammates. As the 1986 season opened, Lott returned not diminished but transformed. No longer anchored to the corner, he slid to free safety, a move orchestrated by defensive coach George Seifert, who saw a chance to unleash Lott's instincts and vision across the entire field. The transition demanded new discipline. Lott attacked it with the same obsessiveness he brought to film study and preparation, learning the angles, the reads, and the patience the position required. The results were immediate and historic. In just 14 games, Lott intercepted 10 passes, leading the NFL and earning unanimous first-team All-Pro honors. The numbers told part of the story. The rest was written in the way receivers flinched coming across the middle, and in the confidence his teammates drew from his presence. Sacrifice had become reinvention. The defensive back who gave up a finger became the safety who could take away a season. January 22nd, 1989. Miami's humid night air pressed in on Joe Robbie Stadium as the 49ers trailed the Cincinnati Bengals late in Super Bowl XXIII. Joe Montana took the huddle, eyes steady, and led a 92-yard march that ended with John Taylor's touchdown catch. 34 seconds left, San Francisco ahead for good. Ronnie Lott, patrolling the secondary, anchored a defense that refused to break under pressure. The following January, the 49ers returned to the biggest stage at the Louisiana Superdome. Super Bowl XXIV became a showcase for dominance. San Francisco 55, Denver Broncos 10. Lott intercepted John Elway, adding another signature play to a growing collection of championship moments. 4 rings, 63 career interceptions, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pro selections. Lott's numbers tell a story of consistency and impact, but his career did not end in San Francisco. After the 1990 season, he joined the Los Angeles Raiders, leading the National Football League in interceptions in 1991 at age 32. He made the Pro Bowl again, then moved to the New York Jets, where he racked up more than 100 tackles in his first year. Even as his speed faded, his instincts and leadership kept him at the heart of every defense. December 18th, 1994, marked his final game. 15 seasons, nearly 200 games, and a legacy that stretched beyond statistics. Hall. On July 29th, 2000, Canton, Ohio welcomed Ronnie Lott into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Analysts now debate how his style would fit in today's National Football League. Helmet-to-helmet hits and high-impact collisions, once cheered, now draw penalties or ejections. Some say Lott would be sidelined under modern rules. Others argue his intelligence and adaptability would make him just as dominant. What remains undisputed is the standard he set: physical courage, relentless preparation, and the ability to change games in the moments that mattered most. Ronnie Lott finished his NFL career with 63 interceptions, 4 Super Bowl rings, and induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on July 29, 2000. His decision to amputate part of his finger in 1986, rather than miss playing time, stands as one of the most documented examples of sacrifice in professional sports. While Lott's exact pain threshold and the long-term impact of his injuries can never be fully measured, his influence on the safety position is clear in league rule changes and the evolution of player roles. Today, the NFL penalizes hits that once defined Lott's style, and analysts agree that his approach shaped the expectations for generations of defenders. However, the full cost of such relentless play and the unseen moments behind closed locker room doors remains largely undocumented. What endures is the record, a player who combined discipline, intelligence, and toughness, setting a standard that modern safeties still chase. Ronnie Lott's legacy is preserved not just in statistics, but in the fundamental way the game is played and remembered.